Okay. Hey, all. My name is Gonzalo Lomba, and I will be talking about Solidity and Web3. So, first, what are OTTs? OTT are basically online tech talks. It's a place where you can share stuff with other White Prom team members. So, if you did something over the weekend or over the week and you think it's interesting and you want to share the knowledge you gather, you can set up an OTT. You can talk with the architecture team. So you can set up an OTT and talk about the project you did and share the knowledge to others. It's a great way to to share the knowledge and the experience that you did. So let's get started. First, let's clarify some concepts. Uh, so tokens and NFTs. There are three types of tokens mainly. There are a lot, but we use three mainly, which are ERC20, which are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. These are coins that we use mainly in our day-to-day, not in our day-to-day, but the most common usage are monetary purposes. So these are the most common ones. Then we have the ERC 721, which are most referred as NFTs. This is like a collectible. It can be anything like a piece of art from a famous artist or a moment or anything really. It's mainly a collectible piece of art and it's attached to a wallet. So this is what we will cover in this OTT. And then there are others like ERC 1155, which is like a mix of ERC 20 and ERC 721, but we will not cover that here. So, but it's some other token really interesting. And then we have the Solidity language, which is what we use to code some smart contracts. Smart contracts, you can think of it as an API, which is deployed in the blockchain. The blockchain is like a peer-to-peer cloud type of thing, where we deploy all the smart contracts. All the smart contracts live there. So yeah, that's basically it. Then we have the mint. The art of minting is like the action of actually creating a new token, generating a new token, an NFT in this case, into the blockchain and get it assigned to your wallet. So yeah, you create basically a token from scratch and you generate it into the blockchain. And then we also use IPFS protocol, which is Interplanetary File System. Basically, it's a peer-to-peer storage protocol where you can store all your files in a decentralized manner. So we use it in this case to store all the images for our NFTs, and so we can get a uniquely identifier. So we can then attach to the wallets. So each wallet has their own NFTs attached. So, okay, let's continue. So what I did was create an NFT minting app. So basically, I did all of this with Solidity and a smart contract for the NFT. For this, I used the Open Zeppelin, which is an online tool to help you create token smart contracts. Open Zeppelin has a wizard where you can set up all kind of configuration for your smart contracts, and then it provides you with a smart contract with some already generated functions ready to copy and paste into your smart contract and use them. So you don't have to write all of the functions yourself from scratch. Then we also use some Web3 libraries and frameworks to interact with the Ethereum blockchain, whether it is a smart contract already deploying it or with the blockchain itself. We have Hard Hat, which is a framework to make developing a full stack application, a Web3 application, way easier. So you can configure all kind of stuff, like for example, where you can, in which blockchain you have to deploy the the smart contract. It also allows to compile and deploy and test all your smart contracts in a few simple steps. So yeah, there are multiple blockchains, as I already said. There is the mainnet, where all the real production smart contracts are deployed, but you have to actually pay real Ethereum in order to deploy and use some of the functions inside there. For this case, I use the Goerli testnet, which is another parallel blockchain, let's say, where you can deploy test your smart contracts with fake ethers provided via a testnet faucet. So you basically request some fake ethers to the faucet, and they send a limited amount of that fake ethers into your testnet wallet, so you can then use those ethers to test and deploy your smart contracts. So let's get into some of the code. Here is the first part of the smart contract for the NFT. As you can see, most of the code here was generated by the OpenZeppelin wizard, as I already told you. So I won't go over all of it, but we can see a few interesting things here. Like, for example, the first two lines indicate the minimum Solidity version needed in order to compile this smart contract. In this case, is 0.8.4. Then we have a few imports from the OpenZeppelin libraries to make everything way easier. After that, the contract itself starts. We declare some variables here. This is all already generated by OpenZeppelin, except this mapping, which I had to declare for later usage. But everything else, it's already generated by the OpenZeppelin wizard. Then we have some more functions already declared, generated by OpenZeppelin. Like, for example, is content owned. It takes a URI, and then it returns a Boolean based on whether that specific URI it's already exists or not, and it's already owned or not by a wallet. Then we have the most interesting function, pay to mint, which I created from scratch. This takes an address for a parameter and the URI which you want to mint. So first, you have the required function. The first two lines are required functions, which are like conditions that you have to meet in order to execute the rest of the function. If you don't meet the condition here, you get this error thrown. So the rest of the contract is not executed. Like, for example, if you don't send this amount of Ether, if you send less than this amount of Ether, you will get an error like need to pay up. After that, you basically mint a new NFT is minted, and it's assigned to the mapping variable we saw earlier. We attach the NFT metadata to the wallet that is provided here to the mapping itself. And then we have also a function to retrieve the count of NFT that was already minted. This is the total amount of NFT that was already minted in this smart contract. So yeah, that's basically all the smart contract itself. Is like really simple. For this specific case, you can have multiple smart contracts, well, but for this case, one is enough. So this is the front-end part of the application written in React. As you can see in the get balance function, we use the window Ethereum object, which we only have access to if the user is already logged in via the MetaMask browser extension. If we don't have access, we should prompt the user to log into their wallets via the MetaMask browser extension before displaying all these components, because otherwise we won't be able to execute any of these. But basically, this is the function to display the balance that the wallet, the current logged in wallet has. It's very, very simple, very straightforward. You basically click on the button, execute the function, and display the balance here. Very straightforward. Then we have an actual interaction with the smart contract we created. Here we get the contract address that the deployed contract was from the address that we deployed the smart contract. Here we get the provider for the Windows 3 user. So then you get the contract, the actual contract object. We pass in the contract address, as we saw earlier. The AVI, this AVI, it's like a set of signatures for all the functions that the smart contract exposes. So the front end or anyone that wants to interact with the smart contracts from outside the blockchain has a set of all the signatures that he can use. So we have to pass in the AVI, which contains all that, and the signer, which is the user, the wallet user that will use this smart contract. So we have the contract object, and in this case, we use it to execute the count function, as we saw earlier in the smart contract, to display the current amount of already minted NFTs. So yeah, in this case, it's like the simple function. So we display the total amount, and then another usage we use here is to use the pay to mint function. Here we pass in the address that the user address, the user wallet address, the metadata URI that he's trying to mint, and then we send the value, the amount of Ether that you want to use. In this case, we are passing this amount, which is the amount that you need in order to mint. But if you were to pass less than that amount, the require would fail and you won't be able to execute the function pay to mint. After that, you get the result, and we refreshed all the minted status, and we get the count again. We refresh all the page. We should see the new minted contract. So this is like the application from the front end side. As you can see here, we get the show balance component where you would see the balance here. If you click on show my balance, you will get the number here. And you also have all the minted NFT for this wallet in here. This is the first NFT that was already minted. If you click here, you will see the wallet that was already minted from. And then you can also mint a new NFT. So if you click mint here, you will get a new NFT generated, minted, and you will also get you will list all the NFT for that was already minted. So yeah, that's basically the whole application. It's really, really simple, but it's a good starting point. So yeah, basically what's next? If you are interested in some of these, I highly suggest that you check out some of the Whiteprom online Solidity courses. They are great. They are a good starting point. I also suggest you check out the Remix IDE, which is an IDE specifically designed for smart contract testing. It's really easy to test locally, not on the mainnet or testnet, but locally. So yeah, it's a good starting point as well. And also, I suggest checking out all the documentations for the frameworks and tools that you will use, because the documentations are a great source of knowledge and are always up to date. So yeah, I highly suggest you check out those as well. And also, I suggest picking a topic you like web3 and blockchain and crypto stuff. It's like a world of possibilities. There are a lot of different things that you can learn. I highly suggest you pick only one topic at a time, at least, and you focus on that. because it's a lot of information. You won't be able to cover all of the topics. So there are a lot of different topics like DeFi, decentralized finance, the apps, NFTs, DAOs. There are a lot of things that you can learn about. And also, of course, stay constantly learning. This is a world where it's relatively new. So you have to stay up to date constantly because things are always evolving, are always changing. You need to keep up the pace. So yeah, that's basically it. And if anyone has any questions.
Yes, I have one. What did you use Hard Hat for? Just to understand a little better.
Okay, great question. So Hard Hat is a framework mainly used for configure for full stack developing apps, decentralized app. It allows you to compile, test, and deploy the smart contracts in an easy manner. You can also have all that configured along with your front end application, so it's easier to tie the front end with the smart contracts via the AVI. When you compile with Hard Hat, you get the AVI file with all the signatures for the functions that the smart contract exposes. So you can easily import them in your front end application as well. Hard Hat also provides some configurations out of the box, so it's really easier to develop with Hard Hat.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. I have another question.
Yeah.
How long does it take, do you estimate, does a general ballpark figure for someone out of software development to get into web3, Solidity or blockchain in general?
It depends on what topic you want to cover. There are a lot of topics you want to cover, but to have a general understanding, it also depends, of course, on the amount of time you dedicate per day. But I would assume, for example, for me, it took me like 1 or 2 months to set up all these and learn all about the Web3 in general. But this is because I'm really interested into all this, and it was easier for me. But I guess it depends from person to person the amount of time you want to invest in.
Thank you.
No problem.
I really scratched the surface of all this NFT and minting thing, but I was wondering, there's a minting fee, right? Supposedly you have your artwork and you want to be minted. Is that how it works? The minting fee, where does it come along in this process of the software you showed us?
So the minting fee, it gets transferred to the address that deploy the contract, the owner of the smart contract. So if, for example, an artist wants to create their NFTs, they can do it via this way, and the users can then mint the NFT from their art, and they can send the fee to the artist themselves, which was the one who deployed the smart contract.
I see. Thank you.
I think you have to add on that there's two different kinds of fees, because you have the gas fee, which is just the gas you pay only to mint, and the other one is the fee you might pay just to transfer the NFT to your wallet. That's, as Gonzalo say, it's going for the creator or the owner of the contract.
Exactly. So, any more questions? If not, I think we can end the OTT here. So if you have any questions, you can hit me up in Slack, or if you want to conduct an OTT yourself, you can ask the architecture team. So I hope everyone enjoy this OTT. Yeah, hope to see you real soon.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Gonzalo.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Gonzalo. Great
Thanks.
call.
Good weekend, guys.
Bye. See you.